Today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful turban with ruffle. This is another technique of making ruffles. Very easy and beautiful. So these are the items you need. These are the materials you'll be needing for this project. I have my fabric here. I have 2.5 yards of Duchess fabric. This fabric is called Duchess. It is stretchy. I'm going to be making my turban cap from it and also the ruffles from it. So you can use any fabric of choice, any light fabric of choice. You can use satin if you want to make it in form of a scarfinator, but I'm making mine in form of a turban, just wear and go, you understand. I have my thread, I have my measuring tape, I have my office pins, I have some clips here, I have my scissors, and I have my needle, and I'll also be needing a sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can give it to a tailor to assist. The turban is divided into 3 parts. We have the base of the turban, we have the pleated part, and the ruffles. Okay, so for the base of the turban, I'll be making a zigzag base.
Video that shows how to make the turban base on this channel. Please check the description box below for the link to that video if you have not seen that video yet. Okay, because I won't be going through that in this particular video. So we're going straight to how to make the design right now.
This turban, this is for the pleated part of the turban. Okay, the turban has the pleated and the ruffles. Okay, so this is for the pleated part, and the measurement is 24 inches by 24 inches. I have it in 2 places, 24 inches by 24 inches in 2 places. So I have them placed on top of each other already. This is the wrong side of the fabric facing up, the wrong side of the second piece facing down. So I'm going to sew them together. Okay, I'll sew from here like this, sew this way, then sew like this, sew it this way. Okay, and I'll leave an opening of about 2 inches for me to turn the right side of the fabric out after sewing. Okay, so this is for the pleated part of the turban design. Okay, now I have this piece for the ruffles. This piece is in fold. I folded it this way. Can you see? It is folded this way, and from here to here in fold is 18 inches and the length is 50 inches. In other words, if I open it up, I have 36 inches by 50 inches. So the measurement is 36 inches by 50 inches. So I'm going to fold it into 2 just like I did from the beginning. Okay, it's in fold now. So I'm going to stitch the edges together from here to here. I sew, then I sew all the way down. Then when I get here, I'm going to sew as well, but leave an opening somewhere, anywhere on the fabric. I leave an opening of about 2 to 3 inches for me to turn the right side of this fabric out. As you can see, I have the wrong side of the fabric. This is the right side of the fabric facing me now, so I fold over. So now I have the wrong side facing up, and I'm going to sew all those openings and leave an opening for us to turn it inside out. Now I've sewn the edges as I explained earlier, and this is where I had the opening where I turned the right side out. So I folded in the edges of the opening and I stitch it down. As you can see, this is for the pleated part, and I did the same for the one for the ruffles. Now for the pleated part, remember we have a square. It's 24 inches by 24 inches in 2 places joined together, so we can pleat from any parts. So I'm going to start pleating from here, just like we make an auto gele. We just pleat. Just pleat like that. So I'm going to pleat it all the way down. So I finished pleating. Make sure it is well arranged. So as you can see, I've pleated it up to this point, and I'm just going to hold it down my clip while I arrange the side. So I'm going to harden the sides and hold it down my clips too. Just follow the line like that. Like that. So I've arranged this as well. I hold it down with pins, with my clip. I do the same on the other side. Held down with pins on the middle side, the two sides. And I'm going to use my needle and thread to tag these middle parts. Take my needle through like that. Take my needle through like that, and I'm going to tag. So when you're tacking, please make sure that it is free. Okay, do not make it too tight. It has to be free. I am going to, can you see, it won't be too tight. So just take it through one more time to secure it like that. Make sure it is free, not too tight. Make sure it is well pleated. So I'm going to secure it right here and then hand it. That is for the middle part. Now for the sides, so I'll take my needle through this under part, but please try as much as possible to release it this way, like you're bending it this way, so that it will relax on the turban or your scarfinator. You have to bend it this way before you tack, okay? So I'm going to tack it like that. I repeat the same procedure on this side. So friends, I've tacked down my pleats. This part is very free. These parts are tighter. These two parts are tighter. So I'm going to be attaching it to my cap base. I'm using a turban cap. You can make use of a scarf base or a scarfinator base if you want to. I'm using a turban in this video. This is my cap base. We're going to place our pleated piece on it like this. Okay, so this is how it looks like. We're going to tack this down. I'm going to tack it down. I'll be tacking this layer, the first layer, down to the turban cap. I'll tack this layer, this first layer here, I'll tack it down. I'll just pick two layers like this and tack it down to the middle. Just tack it down here. Or if you can just take your needle through all the way and tack, but make sure that this place is not too tight when you're tacking. So I'm going to do that with my needle and thread. I'll tack it down to my cap base in the middle like this. I'll also tack it down right here. I'll tack it here to my cap base. I tack here again like that to my cap base till I get to this side. Then on this side, I'm not going to tack all through here. I'm only going to tack this edge here. I'll tack it to my cap base. So please get the midpoint, fold this into two to get the middle and place it here. Tack here, tack here, tack here and here, and tack only this part to this. I'm going to do all that off camera and I'll show you the next step. Alright friends, as you can see, I've tacked the pleated part down to the cap here, here and then to the back like this. I tacked it down right here. So on this side, I only tacked it down to the back right here. I just left this allowance here because the way it's ending at the back, I don't really like it. I need to cover all this part. So this is what I'm going to do. I have two pieces cut out, two pieces of fabric, this and then this, and then I also have Velcro tape here. This is Velcro tape. So what I did was I measured this round to give me, this is about 5.5 inches. So and the length from somewhere here to here This is about 4 inches. So I added around, I have 6.5 inches by 5.5 inches. 6.5 inches by 5.5 inches for the first piece. The second piece is kind of shorter. The second piece is also from here. This is about 4 inches. So I did 4.5 inches by 6 inches for the second piece. 4.5 inches by 6 inches. To place him this way, and I'm going to sew. I sew from here this way, and I'm going to do the same on the second piece from here this way. So I've sewn the 2 pieces, and I'm going to turn the right side out like this. I do the same for this other piece. So this is what I'll be doing to each of the pieces. I'm going to be fixing it here. To stay, I decided to cut it off from here so I can fix it first. Okay, so this is how this is going to stay. I'll just arrange it, and I'm going to use my needle and thread to secure this round neatly in here. Before then, I can just measure about this is 2.5 inches. I just do my Velcro tape about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to attach it right here. Let me just hold it down with my office pen for the purpose of this video. So I just hold it down right here. This is where I'll fix my Velcro tape on this part. I'm also going to fix my Velcro tape the other side of it. It's going to be staying right here. So I've attached my Velcro tape on one side of the piece this way, and this other one. So I just put this in like this, and then fold the edge in like this, and secure with needle and thread. Okay, so work with the measurement that is okay for you. Measure it. Remember, I measured mine, so just measure it to know what will fit properly. Okay, it's just all about creativity. All about creativity. So I'm going to fix this right here with my needle and thread. So I just fix it like that with my needle and thread. Invisible tacking. It's visible tacking. I tack like that. Invisible tacking. So I'm going to do this properly. I come to this other side, I repeat the same procedure. This is facing down, so definitely this will be facing up. You understand? So I'll do that for this other end. After that, I'm going to tack it down back to my base. Remember, I removed it the other time. I'll just tack it down to my base here. I do the same on this other hand. Then after that, we move on to the ruffle part. I'll do all this and we'll continue from there. Alright guys, as you can see, I've attached this to one side of the pleated part and this to the other side of the pleated part, just as I explained earlier. So this is how the turban looks like. Can you see it's looking better than before? Looks neater. Alright, so that way your turban can be worn easily. Just use the strap at the back to hold it down. So now this part, okay, and I've also tagged it down to the base of the turban. I've tagged this part down. Remember, I opened it up the other time for me to fix this, my strap, and I also did that here. So I've tagged it down to the turban body, or to the turban base. So the next step is for us to fix our ruffles. We have this part that is free, and that is where we'll be fixing our ruffles. Now it's time for us to create our ruffles. So I have my cap base and the one for the ruffles. That's the second piece I mentioned at the beginning of the video. That is 50 inches by 36 inches. 50 inches by 36 inches. I folded into two and I've sewn it and I brought out the right side. Okay, so with our needle and thread from one side, that's the 36, is the 50 inches part like this, and this is now 18 inches after sewing it, after folding and sewing is 18 inches. So we are going to fold this, we are going to pleat this. We'll just pleat this like this and we'll tack with our needle and thread. Just secure like that. So having done that, we are going to start passing it from under the pleated part. Okay, and how do we do that? We just fix it here. This is where our ruffles will be starting from. Okay, and we are going to secure it to part of the pleats. I'll just secure it down. So I'll just secure it to maybe 1, 2, 3 layers of pleats like this. I'll secure it to it like this. Make sure that it doesn't come outside from here. Just under it. I've tacked it down to it. I tried to bring up my needle from here just to secure it properly. So we start wrapping it round. And we'll bring it out from here. You're going to pleat and wrap round. If you have any excess, you can trim it off, but if you want it fuller or you want it fuller, you can add more. You can just roll it over again. So this is what I have. Make sure you arrange your ruffles to give you a good finishing. You can just take this part of it and tack it down right here neatly. Okay, just tack it down to the pleated part neatly, which I already did here. So I just cut off the excess thread. So, and then this is what I have. You can just keep arranging like that. Arrange. So this is the excess I have here. This excess I have. I just wrap it over and tack it under. Just tack it under here. Okay, so I'll just use my needle and thread and tack it right there. Just tack it under, just pick like this and tack neatly. Invisible tacking. Finish tacking, and this is what we have. Can you see how beautiful this is? This is another way of making ruffles for your scarfulator or your turban base, like I did. So this is just, you just arrange, make sure you arrange. And so this is the front view and this is the back. Remember we had this our strap at the back. We just use that to hold it properly to the edge. Okay, so this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like.